Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Sunday, September 23rd, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. Weekly, open, and gap. But before we get to the gap, we start with money and risk management. You guys know the drill, right? Okay, the euro yen is above the previous month's high, 115 pips above that high. Excuse me. And 86, 87 pips off the current monthly high. The weekly, you can see here, we've had many gaps fill, but we still have a few open gaps. So anybody who didn't get these gaps, you can. And you can see here, there was about a 21 pip gap from the open to the close. It gapped down, so the trade was long. We're in that weekly wick zone. So look to come short off the close or long off the high. And here on the daily, you can see we started off below the previous day's low, and we filled that gap. And since we're just starting the day out, the ranges aren't that high. Buy zone. You can see here we had the pivot down here. It didn't quite hit the pivot, but we would be fading the gap. You can see here you could either have gone straight off the open or wait for the buy zone to hit the gap. Actually, this pivot point here was a missed pivot, but you can see right here we have the current pivot. So this was the target. Rat zone, not enough range for the rat zone. That's usually the case this early on a Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are in the world. Here's our weekly pivot at 131.82. Daily pivot 132.50. And the monthly pivot we hit a long time ago down there. And you can see here there's a pivot here and a pivot here that hasn't been taken out. And we've got an earlier pivot down here at 128.57. And price action, once again, we're just early on the Sunday/Monday, first daily session of the week. 2 ball at the bottom, green at the line has paid off. 1 ball at the top, red at the line looks like. Red at the line, well, technically it didn't hit it right there, 0.201. So we were close, but we didn't quite hit it. So if you jumped the gun, you're down a few pips right now. And once again, just trading those previous daily session lines with the candle color, H1 candle color. Wick zone. Price doesn't like staying in the wick zone, you know it. You can see here it has left, it's come back in. Looks like it wants to leave it once more. And holo zones. Let's refresh the chart here. You can see we have the open was the lowest open. You can see right there was a gap. The gap's been filled. Hit a highest open. We'll see which way price wants to go. Inventory reduction bars. We had a long trigger here. Another one for those coming late. You can see there's a couple that had a short trigger. So once again, trading these inventory reduction bars, especially on the faster time frames, the M15, H1, we just look to take a few pips. Now, if you move up to the daily or weekly, then you might want to go for more pips. And you can see here, previous daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, low. If you're wondering why I don't have close, because usually the close and the open from day to day are pretty much the same, with the exception of the week, where we usually have that gap. So that's why I don't have the close on there. And you can see I almost forgot to do the video, so I just recently opened up, and you can see there's not much movement. It's Sunday, Einstein line. We can go back down to M1, and we can pick up a new line starting here, so you can see where the triggers will be if you want to trade that. So I'll just make it short and sweet today, fellow traders. Just remember, there's still some gaps. If you want to trade those gaps, you know how they like to fill. So it's up to you, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So let's have another great week of draining the banks.